Hey everybody. So I wanted to talk about this really quickly because I saw someone on TikTok talking about it and I thought it was pretty interesting. So I mentioned in my Decentering Black Struggle video that a part of me decentering struggle is being very mindful of the things I'm absorbing. And that includes music. And let me disclose that I do like some of SZA's music, but I won't pretend like, especially since she sings in cursive, once I finally understand what the fuck she's saying, sometimes I do be like, her? Hold up. I can't relate to that. But I saw a conversation on TikTok happening around SZA and how she makes music for pretty losers. And that description actually cracks me up because I think a big part of the pretty girl experience that I haven't heard talked about significantly is dealing with pretty losers specifically who can and most times do inhabit the same spaces and social circles. And they can be more gung ho about making your life hell than unattractive femcells and dusties. And what I mean by pretty losers are just beautiful women who don't feel pretty or exhibit femcel type behavior. And this is not necessarily because they aren't actualized as humans, but they probably haven't developed a healthy relationship to their beauty, or it might actually be both. And I'm sorry if I get a little rambly because I didn't put a lot of thought into this video, but they could develop those restrictive behaviors around beauty for any number of reasons. But they'll try to downplay their beauty or not tap into the privileges associated with beauty because it could be because of respectability politics, or maybe they got their pretty privilege later on in life, so they just don't know how to navigate that yet. It could be insecurity or low self-esteem stemming from upbringing, guilt from being gorgeous, or just trying to be the quote unquote cool girl. And I think I mentioned in my male centeredness video, these pretty losers would fall into the male adjacent category for me. And like I said in that video, a lot of their behavior mirrors the behavior of pygmies, but the cool girls decide to mask behind being more relatable and accessible. And that I'm not like other girls, I'm a cool girl. You don't have to demean me or humble me. I'll do it for you type of attitude. A lot of pretty loser behavior can come from beautiful women who seek validation solely from external sources and most likely only from men or people they can trauma bond with, or whose underprivileged experience they feel they can relate to the most. And that happens a lot more than we like to admit. Normally, these pretty losers go and be viral TikTok virtue signalers who profit off demeaning their own experience. And I'm not saying this to damn people who have insecurities. I think everyone has something that they would change about themselves if they could, but there's a difference between that and building an identity around your shortcomings versus building an identity around the things that you like about yourself. But let's watch this video.
This is a personal opinion, obviously, as most things are on this app. I don't like, well, let me just say where this thought came from. I was on Twitter. I saw a picture of Selena Gomez. She looks lovely. She's in a shirt that says all the girls at the party are younger and hotter than me. Literally quoted the tweet and said, girl, take that shit off. Don't piss me off. Your man's all on the For You page talking about how much he love you, value emotional intelligence. I mean, goddamn, please don't fucking piss me off. Jesus fucking Christ. With that being said, I have never been one who, I'm not a fan of self-deprecating humor. I'm a fan of being able to laugh at yourself, being able to joke on yourself, which is a bit different than being self-deprecating. It is an essential key to life, being able to laugh at yourself, your flaws, being able to acknowledge them. Self-deprecation, though, when you start getting over that line of like, it gets weird and it's getting to, are you okay? You know what I'm saying? Like that, I don't like that. One, because it makes me uncomfortable. Like, what do you want me to agree with you? Do you want me to say all the girls at the party are younger and hotter than you, Selena? Like, I don't know what you want me to say. I don't know what you want me to say to this. But then also, it makes me concerned, like, you see yourself like this. See, I'm able to acknowledge, like, yeah, the girls at the party might be younger than me, hotter, maybe a few, but I'm a bad bitch. So, the baddest bitch on my block. And when I walk in the room, I'm standing on my block. You feel me? The people who want to get on my block don't get on my motherfucking block, and I ain't worried about another bitch block. You know what I'm saying? There's a difference. There is a difference. I think that's another reason SZA's music, as much as I like it, I don't listen to it a lot. Like, I listen to it when it comes on in social settings because I really don't like the whole, I'm a loser, fuck ass bitch vibe. I don't think you should be talking about yourself in that manner because I think the things that you say to yourself, you're going to obviously internalize and believe, right? No matter how, like, there was literally just a neuroscientist on here talking about there's a connection between dressing up and when you do stuff to make yourself feel pretty, you start to believe you're pretty because you're tricking like the neurons in your brain, essentially. Like all of this, outside of the woo-ness of it all, it is connected. You talk about yourself bad, you will internalize that and start to believe you are bad. I'm not gonna do no fuck ass shit like that because I don't believe I'm bad. I believe I'm the baddest bitch, word to Trina. Especially when the girls are like so like SZA, like Selena Gomez, just like, girl, you that bitch, please. I don't want to see someone who I think is that bitch talk about themselves in a self-deprecating way. And I know that this is an attempt to be relatable because we all have our moments where we let insecurity get the best of us. And again, there's a difference between being vulnerable and showing us that, like, I get insecure sometimes just like you know, and being like, I'm a fuck ass bitch. Like, yeah, no, I'm not going to agree with you. I'm not no fuck ass bitch. You can be a fuck ass bitch. I'm not a fuck ass bitch.
And I know she mentioned Selena, but again, I focus on us. And I know how many Black women and girls herald SZA as like their voice and their representation. So Like this comment says, SZA makes music for pretty losers. Very straightforward, verbatim. Okay. And when I truly think about Black women and how we interact with beauty collectively and other beautiful women, whether Black or non Black, I do believe a lot of Black women like SZA are pretty losers, especially if you go by how I just kind of defined it a minute ago. And I'm not saying that because I'm in the exotical space and just need to antagonize Black women, because I know somebody gonna be in the comment section saying that shit. No, I'm a Black woman. I'm including light skinned women in this discussion because self deprecation has literally become a trend. And I remember SZA saying that she has a fear of being perceived, and that's such a huge part of how Black women interact with the world. Like, we want to be the blueprint and believe all beauty derives from us, but we don't want to accept any of the criticism that comes with people actually observing us to perceive said beauty. And you can't have it that way. It's like, get over it. People will always have some shit to say. Like, you will be perceived, right? If you want to be that bitch, you're gonna be perceived. It's actually ridiculous because you can't even like call people pretty nowadays without like humbling a person. People prefer that you humble yourself because for whatever reason, self-awareness is threatening to insecure people. And obviously, I think most people in the world are insecure to some degree. Like, I get on social media all the time and it truly pisses me off when I see women who I know could have like any man they want, could float through the world with ease. And she's even perpetually being validated in their comment section, but she's talking about being undesirable or how she isn't the white supremacist beauty standard. And it just feels like they're not actually a loser, but they're cosplaying being a loser to feel relatable. And I see a lot of light skinned saviors doing shit like this. And it just irks me because I'm like, I know you're not feeling that shit in your everyday life. And if you do, it's so forced. However, I do believe that SZA is truly insecure, and this isn't just my opinion. Like, I saw the article saying she regretted getting the BBL, and I think she might have done that on impulse. But realistically, if you're getting cosmetic surgery, it's not because you're trying to get rid of shit that you actually like. Um, and honestly, she probably did it for a nigga or something. Who knows? But let's look at some of these comments that I saw in the post, and then we'll look at some of her lyrics to reiterate some of my points about her being making pretty loser music. And so Big Door says self-deprecating humor feels like dry begging for a compliment. And then somebody says it 10,000% is. I just blink at them. And then Boo says sometimes it's a coping mechanism, joking about your own insecurities before someone makes fun of you for them. And I do the same shit. Like, I'll just be looking at them with a straight face and like I won't budge either. Like, girl, if I wanted to compliment you, I would. Okay. And this person is correct. But when it comes to self-deprecating pretty women, it's like, you know how when you're pretty and you walk into a room, people will scan you looking for imperfections to make them feel better about you being pretty, especially if you come off as like more confident than they're comfy with. A self-deprecating pretty person feels like they're trying to beat people to the punch. I mean, it's the same move that like a lot of insecure people do, right? But it's more annoying because people are looking like, what? You know, a lot of times people are looking like chill, right? It's just offering people an imperfection to appease them so that they don't stare too hard and find other ones. And I've had people do that to me many, many, many times. Like, I've had bitches be like 3 inches from my face talking about clogged pores. Like, you're trying too hard to find something, sweetie. And then I'm just sitting there like, what do you expect me to do? Like, pull out a clay mask in the middle of this fucking restaurant? Like, bitch, please back up. Then Mary says, can't listen to SZA for too long. I get over it quickly. And this person says, it also gives I need attention. No, seriously, it gives I'm desperate for attention. But when it comes to like pretty losers, there's another layer because they're like used to getting attention, but they don't have a healthy means of getting it. And I think a lot of the negative stereotypes created about pretty people are based on pretty losers. And obviously, anybody can slip up, but self deprecation, whether it's authentic or not, can just get so old so quickly. Like Mecca said, like, I don't want to hear that all day. Like, nah, I'm a bad bitch. I like to be around bad bitches. Like, why are you around me? If you, you know, if you don't like yourself, I don't like being around people who don't like themselves. They got nothing to lose, you know? But I'm also aware that sometimes, like, you might be pretty, but you might not just have, like, the social skills. Maybe you're just, like, not as charming or eloquent or maybe they just have imposter syndrome. I think, like I said before, I think pretty losers happen when someone gains pretty privilege over time. So they may not have had like developed the confidence or self assuredness that comes with getting attention your entire life. For example, like I had a friend like this, and I'm not gonna lie, it was annoying as fuck for me because I couldn't relate to the unnecessary amount of humility and like the constant need for outside validation that comes with that. And just like had me having to be the person to reinforce her was just like too fucking much. And I'll be honest, like it really would give me the ick about how ecstatic she would get about outside validation. Right. Like I understand if somebody's like, oh, you're pretty, you know, it's like, okay, thank you. And then I just keep moving, because I was gonna think that shit anyway. Or if something was wrong with me, like, I already knew it anyway. That's why I don't have to deprecate myself for somebody else to notice. It's like, okay, you tell me, I already knew. Okay, congrats, you saw it too. Like, but she'd be like ready to get married anytime a nigga complimented her, and she was close to 40, so she was fat most of her life. A pretty girl, but big as hell. And I think she was just taken aback by the newfound attention that she was like receiving, especially from men. And that's kind of when I would, start to see those pick me competing, tendencies. And I'm just like, oh, that's kind of gross. Like I don't want friends like that where they feel like we got it, like we're competing, especially when you're like not making it obvious, like you're just internally competing with me. Like, I don't need that around me. Diesel says SZA's self-deprecation is more cathartic for her and whoever relates. I personally just like it for the musicality and lyricism. Not all the music has to be ingested as an affirmation. And then Lydia says, exactly. I don't think you have to relate to everything you listen to. Specifically for SZA, her musicality supersedes everything for me. And that's true. However, the more you hear something, the more you adapt it subconsciously. If you like the lyricism, that means you're directly registering the toxic ass lyrics, even if you don't think you are. And as far as SZA's musicality, this is just my personal opinion, but I don't find SZA to be particularly poetic. Sometimes it even feels like too try-hardy for me. And I don't think the compositions of her music are particularly outstanding. So I don't think it's worth inheriting her low self-esteem for. Like I said, I like some of her catchy shit, but it's not like, oh my God, I just have to listen to this. Like, this is not a comparison, but what SZA is to Lydia, that for me is what Victoria Monet is. Victoria be giving like Lil Wayne levels of wordplay with Stevie Wonder level compositions and Janet Jackson levels of bad bitchery. So her music for me is a win all around. And you can hear the growth in her sound over the course of her projects. I know that's like a sliver slurping tangent, but we were always talking about music, and I love music. I come from a musically inclined family, but I'll also relink the playlist that I made that helps me get in a cocky mood. You can use it for reinforcement, or if you're in a slump, or maybe you're just not feeling cocky, but you just aren't confused that you're that bitch. So, but I'll give an example about absorbing shit subconsciously. Like personally, I like ratchet music, like Yin Yang Twins, Project Pat, Too Short type shit. Very hypersexualized because I like their wordplay, I like their cadence. But after hearing that shit, like, pimps and hoes and shooting niggas and stumping niggas, and I noticed an uptick in like men hypersexualizing me and bitches starting shit with me. And how would they know what I'm listening to on a regular basis? I felt more angry and more horny and like I should be finessing more niggas out of money. So I just stopped listening to it, especially not on a regular basis if I'm not about to go party or something, because like it doesn't align with who or what I actually want to be. Does it suck because it's catchy? Yeah, because I like a lot of bass in my music. I like catchy shit. But I also started experimenting with this song called Lucky Girl, and I'll link that too. But I played it on repeat for like a week. Mind you, I'm naturally lucky as fuck. Like I've dodged Final Destination levels of death type of lucky, but I started finding money on the floor everywhere, like in the grass at the park. Like who the fuck finds money in the grass at the park? In tall grass too, like in the elevator at the store. And like there have been studies on this shit, so we already know that like what you eat, what you absorb in general can start to affect you on a cellular level if you're not careful. Then Benji says it's a lyric from a song in her album about growing up and feeling uggo. I have no idea why she's insecure though, because she's just a bit older. She's aging herself up and she's only 32, but I agree. And then Naya Bean says, a few years ago, I stopped saying, girl, I'm broke when my funds got low. I have more funds to do more of the things I enjoy. I'm not saying in this case 1 + 1 = 2, but it does absolutely help. Okay, so yeah, that confirms what I said earlier about SZA being a pretty loser. It definitely probably is more on par with someone who grew into their pretty privilege in one way or another and still may not be used to it. So I think she may just not be used to it and she might be afraid to lose it instead of like, finding other ways to validate herself. And like Naya Bean said, like even if you don't believe in manifestation, it doesn't matter. Belief is optional. That doesn't change how the shit works. So be careful what you're absorbing. And then somebody says, but Mecca, it's a song off the album she just released, and it talks about how Hollywood works. You get replaced by younger versions of you. I understand what you mean, though. And then Mecca said, no, I got it. But she also is known for being self-deprecating. That's why I was clear when I said that's what made me think of this overall thought and when people do this in general. And I just wanted to focus on that top comment and like what it meant to me, because this is basically confirming SZA's pick me status and that fear of losing whatever validation that she's receiving right now, instead of just adjusting and finding other forms of validation. And I'm about to talk about that in another video I'm gonna upload soon. And it could be scary for her to lose it, considering that she doesn't feel that she always had said form of validation. Because why would people who are younger than you being talented scare you? Especially if you're actually talented. Like, why would that concern you? Younger people are typically to appeal to younger generations. I even see this with like Nicki Minaj's behavior and her beef with Ice Spice. Like, I understand like wanting to cross over and reach, younger generations sometimes, but you don't have to compete with your younger counterparts. Like, even when you think about her and Lil Kim's beef, it was pointless to me. Like, millennials have never truly checked for Lil Kim. Like, we might have caught some of her win from Gen Xers that we were around, but like, for like, who was bumping Lil Kim for real, other than like New Yorkers? Like, appeal to your group. Like, stop trying to be picked by everybody. It's pointless and it'll never happen. Just appeal to the people that really ride for you. Okay, but let's look at some of her lyrics. And again, I'm not trying to tell you not to enjoy music. I'm just saying make sure you understand what you're absorbing. Like, that's why I listen to a lot of wordless music, so I can just kind of like safely zone out when I'm like picking up vibrations from music, because like this timeline is fucked up enough. I don't need to be like, fucking myself over by just like entertaining myself. But as long as you're fine with it, do you? But I'm just saying I'm good on the self-deprecating. I don't know how beautiful I truly am. Pretty loser type shit, right? I'm good on that. Okay, so let's look at the lyrics to her song Garden, and I'm gonna do that first because this song is actually on my playlist.
Need you for the old me, need you for my sanity, need you to remind me where I come from. Can you remind me of my gravity? Ground me when I'm tumbling, spiraling, plummeting down to earth. You keep me down to earth. Call me on my bullshit. Lie to me and say my booty getting bigger even if it ain't. Love me even if it rain. Love me even if it pain you. I know I be difficult, right? You know I be difficult, right? You know it get difficult.
Okay, so right off the bat, it's given a high level of codependency. And I'm not saying never rely on people you care for help or pick me ups, but needing someone else to keep you grounded is dangerous. And I'm saying this as an ex codependent. And sure, the person I saw as my quote unquote rock was my mother, but losing her made me feel, for lack of better terms, unearthed. And I did start relying on unhealthy coping mechanisms temporarily, but I'm me, so it got old quickly. And I started to find healthier techniques and ways to keep myself centered when I felt like I was losing myself a bit. And needing that validation from another person to the point that you're cool with them feeding you lies and delusion instead of loving you for who you are is crazy. It's nice to be validated by people. Mind you, I'm not a words of affirmation person, but needing someone to always affirm you because you lack substance and self-awareness or just refuse to do any level of self-discovery is a setup for failure. Like, you're not a child. No other adult is obligated to build your self-esteem. And constantly being in pursuit of external reinforcement can lead people to do toxic shit. And in most cases, that's like through, seeking the gaze of the opposite sex or actual sex. And I'm pro sex over here. Fuck all you want. Fuck a lot. Do it well. But where is it coming from, right? Like, why are you doing it? Are you doing it to avoid something? Are you doing it from a heal place? Are you doing it because you like it, right? If not, then you should reevaluate your motives.
Open your heart up, hoping I'll never find out that you're anyone else. 'Cause I love you just how you are, and hope you never find out who I really am. 'Cause you'll never love me, you'll never love me, you'll never love me. But I believe you when you say it like that. Say it like that. Oh, do you mean it when you say it like that? Say it like that. Oh, I believe you when you say it like that. Say it like that. You must really love me. For real, I'm not playing no games. Boy, we're back and forth. I need your support now. Now. In case you call my phone again. Got no panties on.
I mean, this is screaming anxious attachment. It's like, go to therapy, dear. Because it seems like she's saying she plays whatever role keeps the man around, which, okay, have fun, but that's unsustainable. Because what happens when you're tired of masking? Like, you will no longer receive the validation you received from that mask. I heard someone call that honeypotting in relationships, like going undercover and playing the role to elicit the exact results you want. Honestly, it's manipulative as fuck. And I think the people who have the energy for that are normally those who display narcissistic tendencies. And she's basically saying here that she has no boundaries and is always available to fuck instead of moving on, just simply moving on to another man. And I could go deeper into this, but I don't feel like it right now. Like, I don't feel like getting too deep into relationships right now.
I need your support now. Now, 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 now. I know you'd rather be laid up with a big booty. Probably hella positive because she got a big booty. Wow. I know I'd rather be paid up. You know I'm sensitive about having no booty, having nobody, only you, buddy. Can you hold me when nobody's around us?
OMG, the insecurity. I've been involved with people like this, like perpetually worried about where their love interest would rather be or whether they're like good enough to be with you. Like, it's too much. Just like always in a competition to like the most insecure degree. Like this man is in your face dealing with you in this moment. Why are you worried about somebody else and a big booty? That's weird. All right, so now let's look at her song Drew Barrymore.
Why is it so hard to accept the party is over? You came with your new friends, in her mom jeans and her new Vans, and she's perfect and I hate it. Oh, so glad you made it. I'm so glad you could come by. Somebody get the tacos. Somebody spark the Let's start the Narcos off at episode 1. Bring the gin, got the juice. Bring the sin, got that too. Won't you shut up? No, you're my favorite. Am I warm enough for you outside, baby? Yeah. Is it warm enough for you inside me? Me? Warm enough for you outside, baby? Yeah. Warm enough outside? Inside me? I get so lonely, I forget what I'm worth. We get so lonely, we pretend that this works. I'm so ashamed of myself, think I need therapy. I'm sorry I'm not more attractive. I'm sorry I'm not more ladylike. I'm sorry I don't shave my legs at night. I'm sorry I'm not your baby mama. I'm sorry you got karma coming to you. Collect your soul, get it right. Warm enough for you outside, baby? Yeah. Is it warm enough for you inside me? Me? Warm enough for you outside, baby? Yeah. Warm enough outside? Inside me? Sorry, I just need to see you. I'm sorry, I'm so clingy. I don't mean to be a lot. Do you really want to love me down like you say you do? Give it to me like you say you do. 'Cause it's hard enough you gotta treat me like this. Lonely enough to let you treat me like this.
It's so funny to me listening to the AI saying the lyrics like that. Okay, but anyways, realistically, listening to these lyrics just gives me the impression that her target audience is pretty women with low self-worth and inflated egos that are in like a turnstile of meaningless situationships that they use as validation. They're the at least I got a man type of women, which really the man probably ain't even theirs for real. They're probably sharing this motherfucker with like the community. And they're the girls with daddy issues that men glorify when pretending that poor mental health and emotional instability turns them on because they know that those types of women use sex and low effort availability as leverage. This particular brand of pretty loser thinks that her coochie is what sets her apart. But then she's bitter when the guys work harder for women with higher standards. She's a pit stop. She doesn't actually enjoy it, but she'll play along because it gets her the attention and validation that she needs to scratch that anxious attachment before this pattern results in another self-fulfilling prophecy. It's giving, I know I'm not what you want, but I fuck good. I'm not saying anything is wrong with taking pride in your sexual prowess, but like it's giving side chick syndrome. Ain't that what her song Weekend is about anyway? Like desperately wanting love, but masking behind being the quote unquote down, laid back, lenient, cool girl who doesn't ask for too much. But then she'll be upset with the pretty girl with self-worth because she's getting what the pretty loser wants while still having standards. The pretty loser will refuse to heal, but will still also be upset about taking whatever subpar shit is handed to her because she refuses to accept that men don't actually find that unstable, needy shit endearing. Not for too long, anyway. Okay, so let's take a look at her song Kill Bill.
I'm still a fan, even though I was salty. Hate to see you with some other broad. Know you happy. Hate to see you happy if I'm not the one driving. I'm so mature. I'm so mature. I got me a therapist to tell me there's other men. I don't want none. I just want you. If I can't have you, no one should. I might kill my ex. Not the best idea. His new girlfriend's next. How'd I get here? I might kill my ex. I still love him though. Rather be in jail than alone. I get the sense that it's a lost cause. I get the sense that you might really love her. This text gonna be evidence. This text is evidence. I tried to ration with you. No murders or crimes of passion, but damn, You was out of reach. You was at the farmer's market with your perfect peach. Now I'm in the basement, planning home invasion. Now you laying face down, got me singing over a beat. I'm so mature, I'm so mature. I'm so mature, I got me a therapist to tell me there's other men. I don't want none, I just want you. If I can't have you, no one will. I might kill my ex, not the best idea. His new girlfriend's next, how'd I get here? I might kill my ex, I still love him though. Rather be in jail than alone. I did it all for love. I did it all on no drugs. I did all of this sober. I did it all for us. Oh, I did it all for love. I did all of this on no drugs. I did all of this sober. Don't you know I did it all for us? I'm gonna kill your ass tonight. I just killed my ex. Not the best idea. Killed his girlfriend next. How'd I get here? He left me no choice. I just killed my ex. I still love him though. I do. Rather be in hell than alone.
Okay, so being a homicidal stalker is relatable. Like, what? This is the song that topped the charts. It's this many murderous pick-me's just casually walking around this bitch, running up the Spotify numbers on this bitch. Insane. Like, it's not giving girls girl at all. Girl, you're acting like Bill in Kill Bill, not Beatrix. What the fuck? We didn't like Bill. Like, you're supposed to be like, what? The name of the song should have been I Am Bill. I've actually never heard the song all the way through before, and it really creeps me out now that I heard it. Because, like, how is a catchy beat hiding how seriously unhealthy these lyrics are? This is literally not the type of stuff you want to get comfy with subconsciously. And this is not me trying to brag if you've actually, like, you know, related to these lyrics, but I've never felt this way. Baby girl clearly makes music for like anxious attachments, and when I'm not a healthy attachment, I'm avoiding as fuck. Like, I saw this TikTok that sums it up perfectly.
Not talking to me won't work on me. I'll forget all about your motherfucking ass.
Baby, that ADHD out of sight, out of mind shit applies to humans too. And cause I see sometimes and I hear stuff like this, like her lyrics, and I wonder, like, do I just like not feel things as deeply as other people? Because I personally would just like rather take that energy and fall in love with a new nigga or just like love on myself. But then again, like, like, I guess I don't want to feel shit this deeply because that shit's creepy to me. But not only is it self-deprecating, it's codependent, it's an unhealthy level of delusion. SZA's music is for women who have mushy frontal lobes, even though her ass is in her 30s. And even if she throws some cocky shit in there occasionally, like her song Low, it almost, in the same way that a young woman with an unhealthy relationship with her ego has a cocky crash out to pretend that she's not hurt by her ex moving on, it's not genuine. But her music does have a place. And we all have moments. But like the comment says, her music hasn't evolved. And that's generally a reflection on the lack of growth from the artist. It's not just giving she has a niche, because how many songs do you need to make about needing therapy before you just gonna get that shit? And again, this video is not to pass judgment. It's really to help people who might not realize that it's time to evolve, that it is actually time to evolve. Because you can always enjoy art, but when your reality reflects toxic ass art, then you just keep indulging in it. It can keep you from seeing that it's time to change, and it'll keep you in a cycle because it's validating your negative experience over and over and over and over. So ultimately, my point is, don't let the things that you absorb hinder your progress or seeing that it's time for you to progress. But anyway, these are just thoughts and opinions. Let me know what you think down in the comments, and I'll see you next time. Bye.